what I might do with that instead is just put a clamp on it. I think I got some hose clamps that'll fit on that. I can get the hose up over it, but then the PEX ring won't go over it because it is just a hair bigger. So I think I got a clamp pretty near. I'm gonna go grab it and then we'll put it on. Okay, that's working. I'll go show you what I did. I see a drip. I just saw a drip. I might can tighten that a little more. So figure out where it's dripping from. So I can get this clamp up over that wide part, and that's dripping from where? I think it's dripping from the clamp, so I can tighten that. The reason I went through all this trouble was because this pipe won't freeze and bust like a water hose will. I didn't mean to have the end all sticking up in the air. In fact, I was trying to do the opposite. I thought if I put an elbow there, I'd get it to lay down. Years ago, when I was putting in some black PVC pipe down in the ground up in Maine, I was working with a real plumber, and he said, this stuff's got awful memory. And it took me a while. I didn't know what that meant, and then it occurred to me after a bit that he means that it remembers being rolled up and it doesn't want to forget it. And that PEX pipe's got a little awful memory going for it too, but I'm hoping I can go over there and convince it to lay down. What I might do is get me a little, kind of a little stake, like a tent stake, put it in the ground. That way when you walk across it, you won't trip on that. That could be really annoying. But that pretty much takes care of the water connection. I don't see any leak anywhere. And when I get ready to leave, I can just, this little side part over on the box over here, I can just flip that up, unhook that and pull it out and leave that connected. You may have noticed that there's two, I've got a splitter on this. And I did that on purpose because when Bill comes, Bill's gonna, I didn't tell y'all, I don't think, maybe I should. Bill sold his house. He's gonna buy an RV. He's gonna come back here and we're gonna hook it up, and he's gonna stay here till he figures out where he's going next. So they don't have a house anymore. They're gonna have an RV. I think either a new one or slightly used one. And he's gonna spend some time traveling around figuring out where he wants to go. I told him I'd have everything set up so basically he can come here and plug into my system. I've got a 30 amp, a 50 amp plug right here, and I'm only using the 30, so I can pull off that 50 amp and come out and mount another plug for him to plug his RV into. I am refilling my internal water supply. I drained it before we left, and Honey Baby mentioned, well, if the pipes freeze, we wouldn't have any water if that was empty. And at first I thought, y'all can't see it, can you? No, I didn't want that. At first I thought I'd let it go empty because I didn't want it to freeze, but then I thought, well, it's going to be more likely to freeze if it's empty. If it's got some water in there, it would take quite a lot to freeze all that water. And also, if my theory is right, with this closed, it's insulated and there's light right up in there. That shouldn't get cold enough to freeze. The other thing about it is, here in Georgia, if it gets down to like 18 or 20, it'll probably only be there for an hour or two, and then the temperature will go back up. It's not like in Maine where it can be, you know, 15 degrees for a month, and everything is more prone to freeze that way. So what I'm going to do next is insulate that piece that I just did there. I'm going to insulate this pole. This pole ain't supposed to freeze. It's supposed to be one of them things they put in the ground that's freeze-proof, but I'm not sure I necessarily always trust that. So what I'll do is I'll put some insulation around it and around that pipe, and I'll connect that pipe down on the ground so it's laying down, and then I might build that box around this thing like I was talking about. But we should be able to come back in here and hook Bill right into that when he gets here. By the time he gets here, all that freezing stuff will be over with anyway. So, okay.